of the Canton Police Department is on leave, accused of misconduct. The town says they were notified of the allegations last month. The person who was not identified was then placed on leave. Now, it's not clear what the alleged misconduct is. In a statement, the department writes this, quote, "The town and the town's police department take all allegations of misconduct seriously," adding, "We will take the necessary steps to ensure that actions by individual officers do not jeopardize that quality and level of service."
A Canton police sergeant who testified during Karen Reed's first trial has been placed on leave. And we don't know tonight if this disciplinary action has any connection to Reed's case. We do know this involves allegations of misconduct.
Yeah, Lisa, Sergeant Sean Goode was on duty the night that the body of John O'Keefe, Boston police officer, was discovered when the Karen Reed saga all began. As you said, we do not know the nature of this alleged misconduct. We do know that it was discovered, quote, during an investigation into a former member of a different law enforcement agency.
I got a radio transmission from our officer at the working dispatch.
This is Canton Police Sergeant Sean Goode, testifying on the stand during Karen Reed's first murder trial. He told the court Reed was suicidal after the body of John O'Keefe, her then Boston police officer boyfriend, was discovered.
Her father was on the phone with Miss Reed, and she was making suicidal threats to take her own life.
Reed was acquitted of O'Keefe's murder during her second trial. But now her supporters still have their eyes on Goode, holding signs and flags outside the Canton Police Department Monday, this time because the Canton sergeant was just suspended by the department. On Friday, October 24th, the town of Canton was notified of allegations of misconduct concerning a member of the town's police department, which was discovered during an investigation into a former member of a different law enforcement agency. Another Karen Reed investigator made headlines less than 2 weeks ago. Former state trooper Michael Proctor lost his job after his insulting texts about Reed came to light. He recently dropped his appeal to get his job back amid the revelation that thousands of his personal texts will be provided to more defense attorneys. I-Team sources say some of those texts were racist.
If you don't trust the police, you're just not safe no matter what, because mentally it takes a massive toll.
Longtime Karen Reed supporter Brenda Sweeney was one of the people outside Canton Police today. She says she's not surprised by Goode's suspension, but believes it is more evidence of a movement by Canton's interim police chief to increase transparency.
He's come out and talked to us. He stood with us to hear us, and something that we've never had for a very long time.
Now, the town has engaged an outside investigator to look into these allegations against Goode.
Tonight, there's new controversy involving the Canton Police Department.
A police officer who testified in the Karen Reed case is now on paid administrative leave due to allegations of misconduct. Now, in a statement, the town says Sergeant Sean Goode was put on leave after the allegations were discovered during an investigation into a former member of a different law enforcement agency. The independent investigator is now looking into those allegations. Goode testified during Reed's first murder trial last year, but did not testify at her retrial earlier this year.
The town is committed to providing the quality and level of service that the citizens of Canton deserve from their police department. To that end, we will take the necessary steps to ensure that actions by individual officers do not jeopardize that quality and level of service. Let's bring in NBC 10 courtroom insider Sue O'Connell, who attended both of Reed's trials and was there when Sergeant Goode testified in the first one. All right, Sue, so if we think about the action involving Goode, help us figure out if there are any dots to connect to either the Karen Reed case or to Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator in that case and had these reams of text messages we just learned about that go back to 2013.
Yeah, we don't know, Glenn and JC, but here's what we do know. Both Sean Goode and Michael Proctor live in Canton. Goode went to high school with Courtney Proctor, Michael Proctor's sister, and the Canton police audit found significant policy failures in the John O'Keefe investigation: improper crime scene photography, no recorded witness interviews, officers using those red Solo cups, and personal phones to collect evidence. But auditors found no evidence of tampering and no evidence of a conspiracy to frame anyone.
So let's get a little bit deeper into Sergeant Goode's involvement in the Reed case. For folks who followed Reed's trials, his name is familiar. So what role did he play in the investigation into John O'Keefe's death?
Look, Goode was very involved in the investigation. He was all over it. He was the overnight dispatcher at the Canton Police when John O'Keefe died. He took both 911 calls, the first one from Kerry Roberts before 5 a.m., then Jennifer McCabe around 6 a.m., reporting that O'Keefe was unresponsive. Goode then rushed to the scene. He spoke to the homeowners, Brian and Nicole Albert, and he brought his personal leaf blower from home, which Lieutenant Gallagher asked him to do, and he used it to clear snow, Gallagher did, from the crime scene. And Goode gave key testimony in that first trial. He said he did not hear Reed say, "I hit him at the scene." And he testified that he found 0 pieces of taillight that morning. But a taillight photo later appeared in his report documentation, and he was questioned about that on the stand by the defense in that first trial.
All right, we'll be watching the story closely.
Indeed.
As always, Sue. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kain. All persons having any business involving harmful family economy, justice of the Norfolk Superior Court, is for the county of Norfolk. Do I need it? Give your attendance, you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Court is now open. You may be seated.
22117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. Can I have counsel identify themselves for the record?
Adam Lally for the Commonwealth. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Lally.
Good morning, Your Honor. Laura McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
Your Honor, Alan Jackson for Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Little, also on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Little.
And good morning, Your Honor. David Yannetti for Karen Reed.
Good morning, Mr. Yannetti. Good morning, Ms. Reed. Good morning, jurors. So I apologize for the delay this morning. What I'm going to start doing, we don't want to keep you folks waiting, and sometimes there's traffic or other reasons that we're delayed. Rather than reporting at 8:20 in the morning, I'm going to let you report at 8:30. Okay, we'd rather you have us waiting than we have you waiting. So thank you very much. Could we have Sergeant Goode, please? Right. We all set?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Sergeant, you are familiar with the key swipe system at the Canton Police Department?
Yes.
Could you explain to the jury how that works?
So police officers are issued looks like a credit card. I have it in my wallet. Anytime I enter or leave the police department, the exterior doors going out the back there's a key scan. You put up to it to unlock the door to come in. When you leave, you don't have to go in. If you need to go into the booking area, you have to scan yourself in and out. And to get out of the sally ports, you have to scan in and out.
Okay, and just trying to keep your voice up so
Yes,
these
sorry.
last few jurors can hear you. How many officers on your department have those keys that can be swiped?
I would believe all of them.
Do you know how this information is stored at the Canton Police Station?
I do not. I don't know the software, but I believe it's recorded anytime we come and go.
Okay. Your Honor, we do have a stipulation between the parties, if the court will accept it, to introduce the key swipe records from January 29th of 2022.
Okay.
Before you now took the stand today, did you go over your report?
My police report?
Yes.
Yes.
How long did you take to review that report between yesterday and today?
I scanned over it.
A few minutes?
Sure. Yes.
Have you spoken to anybody about your report?
No.
Nobody from the Canton Police?
No.
You recall that I had asked you about the fact that one name had not been completely spelled out in terms of first name, right?
Yes.
And you had, I believe, indicated that Sergeant Blank was the one that altered that or added that to the report.
Not altered. So he was the one that got those names. So when he entered his report, I believe he would enter those.
Okay. So he entered that into your report, correct?
Anybody writes a supplemental, if you have the authorization, can enter who you speak to add those names. I only spoke to Miss Roberts, Miss Reed, and Miss McCabe that morning.
But the report has your name on it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you speak to anybody from the prosecution, either Mr. Lally or Ms. McLaughlin or anybody else from that office about this issue?
No.
You would agree with me that it is important when you're writing a police report to be transparent, correct?
Yes.
You want to be clear, correct?
Yes.
You do not want to mislead the reader into believing something that is not true, correct?
Yes.
Can I see P and Q for identification, please? May I approach you on? Yes. I'm showing you first P for identification. You identified that yesterday, correct?
Yes.
We went over with the jury the 5 bits of information that are up at the top of the report, starting with the incident number, correct?
Yes.
Date and time reported January 29th, 22 at 6:08.
Yes.
And the report date and time was January 29th of 22 at 8:24 a.m., correct?
Yes.
Reporting officer, Sergeant Sean Goode, correct?
Yes.
I'd like to show you now what has been marked Q for identification. And you can hang on to P if you like. With regard to those bits of information, oh, first of all, let me have you identify Q for identification. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm reading Q.
Okay, what is Q for identification?
Exhibit Q.
Right. What is the actual document?
We call this a face sheet.
With regard to P for identification, that's also a face sheet, correct?
Yes.
They appear to be nearly identical, correct?
Correct, except I'm looking at the top right corner. One says 1/30/2022, and the next would be 10/25/2022.
That is the print date of the report, correct?
Okay, I don't know.
So regardless of when those 2 face sheets had been printed, ignore that. With regard to the information about the incident number and the date of the report and the date of the incident and the reporting officer, those appear to be identical, correct?
Correct.
Now, with regard to P for identification, which is the first report that you were shown, and you were shown that yesterday and now you have it in front of you, there is a photo on the right side of that report, is there not?
There is.
Do you know what that photo is of?
It looks like the scene probably a couple days later when the snow had melted.
Okay. Does it look like a berm that was actually
Exposed?
uncovered by the officers on scene the very first day?
Yes. Are we looking at Q?
No, at
At P? Yes. P? Yes. Looks like the berm. Correct.
All right. And then with regard to Q for identification, which again is the face sheet with the identical information, is there a different photo?
Yes.
What does that photo appear to depict, if you know?
It looks like the same area that Mr. O'Keefe possibly was found, I believe.
All right. Those 2 documents, P for identification and Q for identification, those are actually your report, correct?
Correct. But can I explain?
Mr. Lally will, I'm sure, let you explain. At this point, I'm going to be asking the questions, if you don't mind. Your Honor, I would offer into evidence as full exhibits both P and Q for identification. Just the face sheet.
Is there an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the objection sustained.
May we approach?
Okay.
Could I see those, please?
I've placed a photo before you, Sergeant Goode. Do you recognize what that depicts?
Yes.
What does it depict?
I believe that's a photo of a piece of a taillight.
And when you say a photo of a piece of a taillight, you're obviously referring to a piece of a taillight allegedly found at 34 Fairview in Canton?
Yes.
Now, that photo is the photo that is included in Exhibit Q for identification that you previously saw, right? That's the second photo, is it not?
On the second face sheet that he gave me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And I'm showing you what has already been marked Exhibit 20A. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
That's the berm from that morning.
Okay. And Exhibit 20A is the photo that was in the first version of your report, which was P for identification, correct?
Yes.
Take those back from me, sir. With regard to the first photo that you identified, which was the piece of taillight that allegedly was found at 34 Fairview, that was a fair and accurate representation of that photo, correct?
Yes.
All right. 20A is, you've testified, the photo of the berm that was included in the first version of your police report, which was P for identification, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's put up 42, please. No. I'm sorry. Where is 42?
Right here.
I don't have it.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
No wonder. Sure. The exhibit sticker's upside down, but oh, there we go. That is the photo of the piece of taillight allegedly found at 34 Fairview that you have identified as Exhibit 42, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, having seen those photos, one was included in P for identification, one was included in Q for identification, correct?
Yes.
Which you previously identified as your report.
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, I would offer the top portion of P and Q for identification as a full exhibit.
Okay, and there's an objection from the Commonwealth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It will come in, when the jury actually gets it, we'll have it on the same 9x12 paper that everything else is.
Perfect.
And all exhibits go through Madam Court Reporter.
Oh, of course.
So, jurors, I'm going to send you out for 5 minutes, okay?
Jury, close your notebooks and move on to the seats. Gather all your other belongings and follow me. All rise, jury out.
May I see those, Madam Court Reporter? All right. So I thought you were going to cut them. Apparently, you probably don't have scissors. Let's get these so that they're acceptable to go to the jury. I mean, this just came in with the whole report on it.
I'm sorry?
This just came into evidence with the whole report, and that's not what you agreed to at sidebar.
Right. I mean, I guess we didn't have scissors, but what I was going to do, because it's folded, all I was going to show the jury was the part that got in.
But these are now in evidence.
Understand.
Okay, and that can't happen.
Understand.
So fix them. Do we have scissors, Mr. Clerk? Thank you.
Okay.
So why don't you fix them, run them through a copy machine. All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess. And actually, this is probably a good time for me to say, you know, and it's not just the defense, it's not just the prosecution, but we're taking an awful lot of these jurors' times. We're taking days and weeks. Let's not squander it by, you know, repetitive evidence or taking time like this that we shouldn't need to take. Okay, let's move this case along. All right. All right, I'll be out in 5 minutes.
All right, please.
breaks his back without nothing to say. What the boss man said is so I'm rapping away.
We're back in session, you may be seated. Nora, can I have P and Q marked as the next exhibits in the trial?
Okay.
And with the court's permission, I'd like to display these one above the other.
Okay.
Sergeant Goode, you have previously testified about the details in these reports. You would agree that each of these reflects your report. It says reporting officer Sergeant Sean Goode, correct?
Yes.
Each of these is page 1 of your report, correct?
Yes.
You previously testified that you call that the face sheet of the report, correct?
Yes.
Each of these has the identical incident number and call number, correct?
Yes.
The identical date and time reported, correct?
Yes.
The identical report date and time, correct?
Yes.
And of course, the identical officer.
Yes.
Other than the print date of the face sheet of your report, one appears to be in January, one appears to be in October. The major change is the photo that's included on the face sheet, correct?
Yes. Can I explain why?
So that second photo with the piece of tail light that is included on the first page of your report, that photo is not from January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
You never took a photo of a piece of tail light on January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
You never saw a piece of tail light at 34 Fairview on January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
Did you personally switch the photo on the face sheet of your police report?
No.
Do you know who did?
So whoever updated the report, their supplemental, you add photos.
But in answer to my question, do you know the specific person from your department who altered the photo on the face sheet of your report?
I didn't take the supplemental report, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who took the photo.
But given that this is your report, you're the reporting officer, you are responsible for the content of that report, are you not?
My report, yes, not other officers' supplementals to an investigation.
All right, but this is your report. This is the face sheet for the reporting officer, Sergeant Sean Goode, is it not?
Yes, on the face sheet.
All right. Now, would you agree with me that someone reading this report and seeing that the date and time of the report is listed as January 29th of 2022 at 8:24 a.m., that's when you wrote it, correct?
That's when I logged in, yes.
Somebody reading that and seeing a photo of a piece of taillight might believe that that photo is from the same date that you're writing the report, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you think it's misleading to include a photo on the face sheet of the report when the report is dated January 29th, 2022, and the photo is not from that day, it's from sometime later?
Objection.
Sustained.
Is there anything on what is now marked Exhibit 44 on that face sheet that indicates the date and time that that photo on Exhibit 44 was taken?
No.
Is there anything that indicates that it applies to some supplemental report that was later filed?
No.
Screaming out to break the chain.
I may have a moment.
Trying to
Nothing further, thank you.
All right, please take the exhibit down. And we need that exhibit, Mr. Yannetti.
Oh, yes, of course. We have two others as well.
Okay, the exhibits are to remain up here with the clerk.
With the clerk?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, go right ahead, Mr. Lally.
Thank you. Christopher Albert, and whether or not he was a town selectman, is that correct?
Yes.
And he is currently, is that correct?
Yes.
And was he on January 29th of 2022?
No.
So he was elected to the Board of Selectmen subsequent to this date that you've been talking about, January 29th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
The location where you were directed to where Mr. O'Keefe had been located just after 6 a.m., where was that in relation to the property line between 34 Fairview Road and the home next door?
Probably 10, 12 feet to the property line.
No, you were asked some questions about having been to that residence at 34 Fairview Road prior, and you indicated that you had been there years ago with Sergeant Lang. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what was that in regard to, sir?
It was a hit-and-run investigation.
And who, if anyone, so why were you at that residence at 34 Fairview Road?
So there was a call for a motor vehicle crash at the corner of Dedham and Washington Street, and the suspect vehicle had fled the scene. Officer Lank was my partner that night. He followed the oil spill of the vehicle down Dedham Street, up Cedar Crest, all the way down to the intersection of Cedar Crest to Fairview, and the oil spill actually drove into 34 Fairview, where we found the vehicle.
Through your investigation, who, if anyone, did you associate with operating that vehicle?
That'd be Tim Albert.
And was Mr. Timothy Albert, was he charged in reference to that incident?
Yes, he was.
And do you know approximately when that was?
It was in 2009. I don't know the exact date, but I know the year.
Now, as far as your report is concerned, what you were shown and what you've seen, has there been any change as far as your narrative in reference to who you talked to, what they said, anything of that effect?
No.
You've been asked a bunch of questions about what you called a face sheet. Can you explain to the jury sort of what a face sheet is and sort of how that comes into being?
Easiest way, it's the top sheet of the report. It's not the actual meat of the report. It just gives you the date and time. Usually, if you can fit it on the front of the sheet, it would be the first party would be involved. If there was a suspect, defendant, and that's it. It'd be their name, date of birth, social security number, all of their personal information.
So, as far as you were saying, sort of the meat of the report, it has no real relation to that, correct?
Correct.
Now, you were handed two exhibits or two parts of the report, and you were told to ignore the date that they were printed, correct?
Correct.
And so what, if any, significance would the date that they were printed have in relation to what's on it?
So, in this case, there was supplemental reports done after the 29th. So those reports were added to my initial report. You could add a supplemental narrative. So if that includes meeting new people, talking to other people, or taking photos of anything you found, you would add that to our report, and it would be documented in the supplemental.
And you had offered, I believe, a couple times to explain to the jury sort of why a photo might be different from one face sheet when it's printed versus a subsequent date when the face sheet is printed. Can you explain to the jury at this time sort of why would that be?
So when that face sheet was printed, if photo number one was the top photo, and now there was a new photo added, that could be now the top photo on that face sheet when it was printed.
How would that be something that someone would physically go in and do, or is that something that sort of within the system automatically occurs?
I don't know how the system numbers the photos. So we added our photos on January 29th, and then any photos subsequent to that were added. I don't know how the software would put them 1 through 20 or how many there were.
If I might.
Very briefly.
You had just talked about how Tim Albert was charged as a result of the investigation that you did years ago, correct?
Yes.
The evidence in that case, you would agree with me, was strong against Tim Albert for that crime, was it not?
For leaving the scene? Yes.
Sure. Sergeant Blank actually was able to follow the trail of fluid from the accident scene right to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes.
And Tim Albert admitted that he got nervous and left the scene, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, despite the fact that he was charged, are you aware that the case was just flat out dismissed upon restitution?
Objection, move to strike.
The objection sustained.
Don't you lie.
Jurors, you're to disregard.
It's in your
Alright, you're all set, sir.
Who is your next witness, Mr. Lally?
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth calls Sergeant Michael Lank to the stand.
All right, so not yet. I'll see counsel at sidebar, please.